Welcome to the Coffee Journeys show, hosted by me, Piotr Zagorowski, author of the Coffee Journeys blog. In this show, I'll be sharing my journey from being a technical person to a leader and discussing topics such as leadership, technology, and intentional living. I'll be sharing my unique perspective and insights and offering guidance on how to develop the skills and mindset needed to succeed in today's world. Whether you're an aspiring leader, a technology enthusiast, or simply looking to learn more about the world around you, this podcast is for you. So, join me for the engaging and thought-provoking conversations on leadership, technology, and intentional living on the Coffee Journeys show. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals. Today we're going to talk about habits. If you remember, in episode number 2, I already talked about routines. We are exploring the power and limit of routines. Routine is just a tool, and it could have good implementations and it could have bad implementations. It's a very, very similar thing with habits. We are all having habits and we sometimes don't pay attention. That's why our habits may not be good. And if it comes to habits, I can recommend only one book, which in my mind is the book about habits, and it's called Atomic Habits. The book explains how psychology of habit works, and it can help to create good habits, sustain good habits, but also to get rid of bad habits from our lives. So, plan for today is I'm going to tell you in the very beginning the 4 laws of behavior change. I will give you some examples and then examples from my life, what I did change, particularly about my training habits or workout habits, because it was very, very obvious for me that I need to start there in order to start anything else. Then I will tell you key lessons that I implemented, and I will give you some quotes that are my favorite, and we'll finish with key takeaways from Atomic Habits book. So let's dive in. The 4 laws of behavior change. We all have habits. Whether we are conscious about this or not, we all follow individual patterns and behaviors. This is how our brain is wired, and having patterns and habits helps to cope with the amount of information. Our goal is to make sure that we are conscious about it and we create and maintain good habits while we remove bad ones. So, how can we change our behavior? There are 4 laws to follow and check when we want to build useful atomic habits and get rid of bad habits that we have in our lives. First one is law of obviousness. Some stuff needs to be obvious if you want to follow and you want to change something or add something as habit. For example, we can start placing our running shoes by front door to remind us that we want to run. Or we can set up alarm clock on our phone to remind us that we want to take medicine or start workout or whatever. Another example, like we can schedule specific time to place for your daily meditation practice or any other practice. Basically, it has to be obvious. It's in my calendar, it's there, I place something that is visible and it's obvious what I'm going to do next. Another law is law of ease, meaning that everything that we try to do should be easy, like starting small, achievable goals. I don't know, if you want to start running, let's have a goal of 1 mile or 1 kilometer or 5 minutes of stretching or whatever goal is that is easy to achieve. And then we can build on it, increase amount of minutes or miles or whatever we want to achieve. We can break down larger tasks to smaller tasks. This is getting things done. We have big project. It's overwhelming. Let's make it easy. Let's make one task with next steps and we can start from there. Final example, we can simplify environment. If we have like messy desk, it's not going to be easy to start because there is too many distractions. There's too many things. I found this paper, what it is. Oh, I shall supposed to file it, or I supposed to do something about it. It's going to be distractive. So if we want to do something easier, let's prepare our environment. And next law is law of attractiveness. Stuff should be attractive. Otherwise, it's going to be super, super hard. So we can start framing our habits in positive way, positive light. For example, instead of saying, I have to go to gym, I have to train, I have to run 10 kilometers or whatever, maybe we can start saying that I'm going to gym because I take care of my health, or I want to be a healthy father for my kids, and so on. I'll give you an example in a moment about why I started being a little bit more conscious about my fitness. Another example, let's add some fun element to our habit. Like if you go to gym to train, let's listen to our favorite music or favorite podcast or anything like this. Something that will make it more attractive, basically. And finally, finding a sense of community or accountability. We can start doing this together with some of our friends, or we can actually start now doing this remotely thanks to Apple Watch, because we can follow each other and see when other people are doing exercises or workouts and so on. And the final law is law of satisfaction. Obviously, when we do all of it and it's obvious, easy, attractive, let's make it satisfying. And how we can do it? We can celebrate small victories. Like if we do it together, we can congratulate ourselves or just talk about it, send message to our friends and so on. We can also create some habit tracker or progress charts to visualize our progress. This will help stay motivated, and this will help to track actual progress as well. Now I'm going to give you some of my personal example, how I implemented these 4 laws of behavioral change when it comes to fitness. So I make it obvious. I set up alarm clock early morning. This was actually my first habit before even I started doing any workouts. I started to waking up a little bit earlier than usual, and I set up alarm clock that is called I want to be healthy. And when alarm clock goes off, I see this alarm clock and I know that I want to be healthy, so I want to wake up earlier. And next step is going to be having some workout. Next, I made sure that it was easy. So, usual stuff like bottle with water, some training clothes, and so on. It was all ready previous evening. I made sure that it's going to be easy or easier next morning. Then law of attractiveness. I just made sure that I'm positive about it. Like why I'm training, why I'm sweating, why I am grinding here, because I want to be healthy and I want to be healthy dad for my kids. You need to find something that is attractive for you, and you need to reword it, rephrase it in a way that is more attractive. And finally, satisfaction. I decided, okay, after workout, I'm going to also take cold shower. I'll be talking about habit stacking in a moment, but this gives you dopamine. It's already satisfactory and it's already good feeling that I started my day earlier, already worked out, and I'm ready to crush my day. All right, let's move to key lessons that I implemented from the book itself. To create long-lasting habits, we need to know why we want to do it. What's more, we need to look beyond it and change who we are or who we become as a result of new routines, habits, and activities. I'll give you 5 whys I wanted to buy bicycle. There's another story for another podcast, but it took me 2 years to buy bicycle. And fun enough, motivation was similar to motivation that I had to start workouts. So my 5 whys when it comes to buying bicycle that shorten the time from almost years to just weeks was discovering my deeper motivation. So I did this exercise that is asking myself 5 times why. And I'm going to just read it. So first one was because there was a forest in our location with beautiful paths that we can use for riding bikes. But then I was saying, okay, why I'm trying to do it? Because we wanted to spend time together as a family. Okay, so why are we trying to spend time together? Because we want to exercise a little bit more as a family, and I, as an individual, want to spend more time exercising. Why? Because I want to be healthier, because I sit most of the day in front of computers. I just want to be more fit. And why? Because I want to be around and I want to be mobile when our kids are older. And that motivation gave me a kick. And not very long time after, I bought bicycles and starting regular exercises. So to create long-lasting habits, we should think of who we want to become as a result of making or doing this activity. It's all about discipline. So discipline create habit, habit create character, and make us who we are. Examples from the book. Each time you write a page, you are a writer. Each time you practice a violin, you are a musician. Each time you start workout, you are an athlete or healthy dad, in my case. So that was about who we are. The next thing that I implemented is easy starting rituals. Creating a whole new habit could be overwhelming. It's almost like starting a new big project. I wanted to get fit at the beginning of the year. In my mind, I needed to purchase professional clothes, buy the gym membership, find at least 1 hour every day to drive there, to have a good workout, and it didn't look promising. It didn't look very attractive and easy. So rather than focusing on entire routine, I just needed to focus on how I was going to start it. The idea is to divide the whole activity to smaller steps. Again, this is like getting things done. You have project, you have to divide it into tasks and start with first easy task. Focus on the minimum number of steps I needed to take and to proceed with the rest of your routine. For me, the breakout was when I discovered 7-minute workout app that it's just downloadable. It works on your watch. You can just click it and it starts counting 3, 2, 1, and it shows you first exercise. So it's absolutely crucial because quoting book, starting ritual should be completed in 2 minutes or less. So when you have first task, first part of your habit that you can done under 2 minutes, it's already good probability that you're going to be successful. For me, it was just downloading this app and following what it instructs me to do. And this leads us to another implementation for me from this book, which is habit stacking. The book introduces the concept of habit stacking. What does it mean? You can start building one habit and it takes about 1 month to implement this habit, but you can kind of hook it or chain one habit to another one. That's why it's called habit stacking. You can stack one on another. You should focus on one practice at the time. This is another recommendation. You cannot change dramatically in like 3 serious fronts because you will fail. It's going to be too much. It's going to be overwhelming. If you focus on one thing, then you sort it out. You can add another one on top of it. So you use momentum of old habits to make the new habit easy to initiate. Example from my life was that obviously I used 7-minute workout. That is like 1 minute after another minute. There is different workouts as well. So the general habit is being fit and doing some workouts, but I added some other like longer workouts. So like 2 times 7, 3 times 7 and so on. But I also added taking cold showers. It's another topic I'm going to cover. What are benefits of cold showers? I can only tell you it's awesome. But it was only possible because I was already training, I was already waking up, and I was doing showers. So actually you have 3 habits here. waking up early, doing workout, and taking cold shower. Okay, I will give you some favorite quotes from this book, and I'm going to ask Droidella Mac-Electron to read it for you.
Goals are good for setting a direction, but systems are best for making progress.
Yes, this is a great quote because you can go in one direction by setting goals, but systems will make sure that you actually make progress in this direction. It is a fantastic quote.
You should be far more concerned with your current trajectory than with your current results.
Another fantastic quote. If you are concerned about results, you may lose view where you are going. So you should be more concerned about current trajectory. Where are you going? If it's still good direction for you, and by the way, direction can change. It depends on your age, it depends on what you're optimizing for, and so on and so on. But do not focus on current results, focus on the bigger direction, they call it trajectory. Where are you going?
When you fall in love with the process rather than the product, you don't have to wait to give yourself permission to be happy. You can be satisfied any time your system is running.
This is something that resonates with me. I love systems. I love creating systems, and I love creating environment that works for me. And if I see progress, if I see my systems working, I'm already good. Like I know I achieved optimal level. Obviously, sometimes I like to break systems and fix them. This is engineering part of my brain trying to figure out some new stuff. But in general, if I have process and it's already working, I'm already fine and already satisfied.
The purpose of setting goals is to win the game. The purpose of building systems is to continue playing the game. True long-term thinking is goal-less thinking. It's not about any single accomplishment. It is about the cycle of endless refinement and continuous improvement. Ultimately, it is your commitment to the process that will determine your progress.
And this is similar what I just said, commenting the previous quote, because it's not only about goals. It's good to have goals, it's good to have systems, but it's also good to think long term. And in long term, you should be focusing on adjusting your systems, your goals, and constantly rethinking. And I think if I wanted to summarize this quote, is a question that James Clear asked in one of his newsletters. What are you optimizing for?
Success is the product of daily habits, not once-in-a-lifetime transformations.
And this is another fantastic quote. Success is not one event, if you know what I mean. So you are successful when you can see or define your trajectory, your long-term vision. Then you can define goals, and then you can define systems that will help you to achieve goals that will keep you on this trajectory to your vision. And again, the masterpiece of it is that it can change. Sometimes you optimize for work and you're working 16 hours a day because you don't have kids, you don't have commitments and so on. Then something change and you optimizing for family, let's say. And all of your mechanics, I would say, so goals, visions, systems, and so on, you should build to achieve this new vision, this new trajectory. Let's talk about some key takeaways from this book. I decided to reread this book every year around New Year, but it doesn't need to be New Year. It's just wherever I think I need to change something. And I highly recommend everyone to read this book at least once and going back to it. Why? I'm going to tell you 3 key takeaways for me personally. Habits are compound interest of self-improvement. Just like small deposits into your saving account can be add up over time, and you could be billionaire if you're saving for a lifetime, the small daily habits can have a huge impact on our lives for long term. The key to building new habits is to start small and focus on consistency. So rather than tracking to make drastic changes all at once, what makes habits easier is to stick and create a sense of accomplishment and motivation to continue. It's an art of showing up every day for small tasks. Apart from building new habits, sometimes you need to break bad habits. And it's important to identify the underlying cue or triggers that leads to create negative behavior and then find a new positive action to take in its place. For instance, if you like snacks, unhealthy snacks, just get rid of them. Exchange with healthy snacks or something that you can eat that is not bad for you. So wrapping up, Atomic Habits book is a great resource for you if you're looking to make positive changes in your life and you want to create lasting habits that leads to success and happiness. Habits are important because they shape our daily actions and ultimately determine our outcome in our lives. So do not underdetermine small habits. It all makes sense if they are good habits. If they are bad habits, it will drive you to the wrong trajectory and your life is going to be not as good as if you would follow good habits and good systems. I wonder if you know this book or maybe you have some other key takeaways from this book. Let me know on Twitter at Piotr Zagorowski or send me email on hey@coffeejourneys.blog. And this is all I have for you today. I value feedback a lot. That's why I ask you to review my podcast in your favorite podcasting platform and give it as many stars as you think it deserves. By doing so, this podcast is going to be more visible and I can reach more people to provide value. And before you go, if you would like to join the community of people who are determined to help each other and grow together, join my newsletter at coffeejourneys.blog/newsletter. Thanks for tuning in today, and until next time, have a great